Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Arlington Weekly News. I'm Craig Nolan. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Daniel Pineda.
And I'm Adele Quo.
And here we go with another show, our first show in June. Can you believe it? Our first show in June 2012.
Through.
Almost halfway through this
summertime.
Year of 2012 is racing by. But here we
Baseball.
go. We have news and community bulletin board. Adele is here with
It's Easy Being Green.
Boy, we're getting good at that, aren't we?
She needs a graphic for that segment.
CBB and
The
community
logo. I
bulletin
keep
logo.
forgetting the
board.
logo.
Rich Masabny and his reviews, news for seniors, and then Miriam Gennari is here with an interview, and that's our show. But before we go,
That's
here's a
right,
reminder.
Craig. Arlington Weekly News is available at www.youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News and the number one.
YouTube.
And I guess we're also on Facebook.
On the YouTube and Facebook as well.
Yeah. Wow.
Gee whiz, check us out.
Social
There we
networking.
are. All right. Well, we begin with this week's show with this item. Arlington property owners, here's an alert about an upcoming deadline. Installment 1 of the real estate tax is due Friday, June 15. You can make payments online by credit card or e-check using the County Treasurer's Customer Assessment and Payment Portal, or CAP. And you can check that out at cap.arlingtonva.us. With a CAP profile, you can make a variety of Arlington government payments and emails. So check out CAP for those upcoming real estate taxes on June 15. Daniel.
And Craig, starting on Saturday, June the 9th and going through the weekend, a number of streets will be closed because of 2 upcoming cycling events. The CSC Invitational Bicycle Race will be held on Saturday, June the 9th between 5 a.m. and 4 p.m. and Clarendon roads will be closed due to the races. Affected streets in Clarendon include parts of Wilson Boulevard, Clarendon Boulevard, Washington Boulevard, Highland Street, Garfield Street, and Fillmore Streets. Street parking will be restricted and race attendees are encouraged to use the metro. Towing will be enforced, and if your car is towed, call 703-228-4252. For more information about this Saturday event in Clarendon, visit the county website. The Air Force Cycling Classic will be held on Saturday, that's July the 10th. Between 5 a.m. and 4 p.m. in Crystal City. The roads that will be closed include parts of 15th, 18th, 20th, and 23rd Streets, Crystal Drive, Clark Street, Washington Boulevard, Columbia Pike, Jefferson Davis Highway, and Boundary Channel Drive. For full details, visit crystalcity.org/calendar or www.airforcecyclingclassic.com.
All right, lots of street closures coming up. We hope you jotted those down and look out for the cyclists. They'll be out there. Okay, this item up next. Yorktown High School senior Ryan Carroll won the annual Congressional Arts Competition contest. Carroll's photograph, Lady of Rain, will be displayed at the U.S. Capitol building along with the winners from other congressional districts around the country. Washington Lee High School student Aaron, he was a senior rather, Aaron Danielle's entry, Unspoken, finished second, and she will receive $100 toward art supplies. This year's competition included more than 60 works from 13 high schools around the 8th Congressional District. The pieces will be displayed through June 17 at the Artisphere. The exhibit is entitled An Artistic Discovery. This year's event is sponsored by Congressman Jim Moran. For more information, check out http://www.apsva.us and then search there, and you'll have more information on that website. Okay, Daniel.
Well, what an accomplishment. Congratulations.
That's great. Good job.
Yeah. Well, Arlington students won gold medals at the 48th Annual Skills USA Leadership Conference and Skill Championships held in late April. The Skills USA Championship is a showcase for the best career and technical students in the nation. Seniors Charlotte Pence, Ryan Williams, Stephen Duffy, and junior Jeremy Cannon from the Arlington Career Center were awarded the gold medal in the television news anchor contest, and Lizzie Alarcon won gold in the medical terminology test. Alarcon also received the highest marks for the competition on the medical terminology test. Later this month, they'll compete at the 48th Annual National Leadership and Skills Conference in Kansas City. Congratulations goes to all of them.
The medical terminology test.
Yeah.
Who knew? Really. All right, some more information now on contests around Arlington. Arlington students also won in the 2012 Virginia Technosphere competition. The competition is hosted by Technology Student Association, or TSA. Members apply and integrate concepts in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, also called STEM. The TSA competitions feature problems in communications, design and engineering, environmental systems, manufacturing, construction, and transportation. All 3 TSA winners attend Yorktown High School. They are Luke Klaussen, who placed 3rd in the Tech Bowl. Written exam, Emily Mitchell placed 10th in the technical sketching, and Charlotte Siewick, I hope I got that right. Randy Lamb and Luke Klaussen all placed 7th in the Tech Bowl oral exam. Congratulations to all those Yorktown students.
Yep.
We'll be back with CBB and other news items right after we hear from Adele Quo and
It's Easy Being Green.
Here's Adele.
Hey, Adele.
Thanks very much. Well, now that it's summertime, there's a lot of gardening going on. So it's easy being green by creating water-wise landscapes where you live. If you missed the Arlington Green Home and Garden Tour this past weekend, here's a highlighted example of one of my favorite stops on the tour. For urban dwellers, in order to compete in today's weak housing market and stand out from the wide array of newer condominium amenities and lifestyles nearby, the Arlington Oaks condominium residents on the Landscape Committee successfully realized their vision to garden responsibly for the benefit of people, their local environment, and the Chesapeake Bay by managing their stormwater runoff with rain barrels, 3 rain gardens, and a dry stream bed as shown in the image on the screen. Further, the mission of the Landscape Committee ensured that residents and their guests will not only view a functional rain garden, but also enjoy a beautiful walking experience of their landscaped areas and create a stronger sense of community by evoking pride in a delightful and aesthetic water-wise design that celebrates rainwater as a valuable resource. They remain focused on providing people-centered benefits that improves well-being and quality of life while also conserving resources and managing stormwater wisely. Thus, the residents succeeded in creating a cool green oasis that is highly desirable and much sought after when people discover its magical charms tucked away within its urban gray surroundings, just minutes from the Ballston Metro. So if you missed last week's Green Home and Garden Tour, you're in luck. Here's another chance to visit and be inspired by environmentally friendly gardens in Fairfax County. Local residents open their gardens to share their experiences landscaping with our water resources in mind. The Northern Virginia Soil and Water Conservation District and the Fairfax chapter of the Virginia Master Naturalists co-host the event this Sunday, June 10th, from 1 to 5 p.m. Tour the gardens at your own pace, featuring vegetative roofs, rain gardens, backyard wildlife habitats, native plants, and much more. Check out the website shown on the screen. And for further details, you can call 703-324-1423 for more information. So remember, it's easy being green by touring and creating water-wise landscapes where you live. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Adele.
Good job. Thanks, Adele. It's important to control that runoff water and make it work for you, right?
That's correct.
Absolutely.
And have it be beautiful at the same time.
And aesthetically pleasing as well. All right. Okay, here we go. Thanks, Adele. Here we go with items from our CBB Community Bulletin Board file. Roslyn Outdoor Film Festival will screen Election. The following Friday, June 15th, the movie Primary Colors will be shown. For more information, visit roslynva.org. Daniel.
Yes, on Monday, that's June the 11th, Crystal Screens Romcom will continue screening romantic comedies with The Wedding Singer. Sweet Home Alabama will show the following week. Visit crystalcity.org for more information. And Craig, now that summer's here, we can start enjoying farmers market again. on Thursday. That's June the 7th. And running every Thursday through October the 25th, you can visit the Roslyn Farmers Market. They will be open from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Wilson Boulevard and North Oak Street. The market will stay open in the rain, but will close if there's severe weather.
All right, another item now from our CBB file. Arlington Public Library's Virginia Room, the Virginia Room, has assembled an engrossing digital collection of local historic postcards. Some are from the library and others from generous collectors' personal collections. Arlington in Postcards displays Arlington buildings, streetscapes, businesses, and other landmarks. Visit the Arlington County website for more information. Some information on the schools now, Daniel.
That's right, Craig. Barcroft Elementary School's second annual Farm to Table event is in progress and will end this Friday, June the 8th. The final event will be a dinner and dance party Friday evening in the multi-purpose room. Tickets for the dinner and dance are $3 per person and $10 per family. All proceeds will go to the Arlington Food Assistance Center, AFAC. Students buy the school lobby between 8:15 and 9 a.m. for tickets. For more information, call 703-228-5838.
And some volunteering information now from our CBB file. Arlington Transit Authority, ART, has launched the Adopt a Stop program. Volunteers are needed to adopt a bus stop for 1 year. Adopters will be asked to maintain the bus stop and pick up any trash items laying around. Volunteers will be recognized with a sign posted at the adopted stop. This is a way that the community can help to maintain the ART bus stops throughout the county. This is a great opportunity for individuals, community groups, and civic associations to give back to the community. Check out their website, arlingtontransit.com, Adopt a Stop, to view the list of adoptable stops and learn more about the program. You can give them a call at 703-228-0638. Daniel.
You can help immigrants become naturalized U.S. citizens by becoming a teacher with the Arlington County DHS Community Outreach Program. As a teacher, you will be able to build relationships with people from all over the world, help them pass the citizenship exam, and watch them progress toward U.S. citizenship. The program needs a volunteer for the Wednesday night class. It will require a minimum 3-month time commitment. Classes run from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. and are held at the Thomas Jefferson Middle School. Substitutes are available to fill in as needed. They also need volunteers to teach daytime classes from 1 to 3 p.m. For more information, call 703-228-1397.
All right, thanks, Daniel, and we'll be back with our News for Seniors file right after we hear from our man about town for theater, the arts, and a whole lot more, Mr. Rich.
Thank you.
Hey, Rich.
Take it away, Rich.
Thank you, boys. Last Sunday I was at the Universalist National Memorial Church at 16th and S in the district, and they had a great soprano. They had Joyce Lundy singing. They had the choir under the direction of Darryl, Winston, and just every so often they have some big shows there, and generally free or just some little donation. Anyway, their phone number there is 202-387-3411, and anyway, just remember them, the Universalist National Church there on 16th and S. Roundhouse Theater is doing the play Double Indemnity. Do you remember that? You're old enough to remember Fred McMurray and Barbara Stanwyck? Well, it was wonderful. It was a wonderful, interesting murder, and this guy's works for an insurance company, and he's involved in a murder case with a girlfriend, and there's another girlfriend. Anyway, it's a beautiful. It's a stage production, but it's like film noir, just great. Anyway, that's at Roundhouse Theater in Bethesda, and the phone number is 240-644-1100, or look them up under roundhousetheater.org. It's great. Now, the Keegan Theater is doing an interesting rock musical set in the late 1800s in Germany, and it's called Spring Awakening. And there's a bunch of Catholic University graduates and some still students, a whole ton of them on the stage, and a orchestra. It's pretty darn good, and it talks about those things. For example, there's two hot people, a boy and a girl, and the girl wants to ask her mother, "What do you do? What do you do when you're hot for some guy?" And she says, "Well, if you're in love, you'll know what happens." Well, she got herself pregnant. Anyway, it's Keegan Theater, Spring Awakening. It's at this Church Street on 17th and the Church. Spring Awakening, 703-892-0202, and you can look up the whole story on Keegan Theater. It's an RE at the end there, .com. Woolly Mammoth at 7th and D. They do crazy stuff. They're doing Mr. Burns, a post-electric company. Well, you know, I was a little confused. I got to be honest with you. I sat through it and everything like that, and I hit the guy next to me and said, "You know what this is going on here?" Anyway, the phone number is 202-393-3939. Look them up. Maybe I'll tell you something that I can't. WoollyMammoth.net. I got to tell you, you remember Simpsons, the cartoon thing? Well, they're mixing that with the Cape Fear thing that Robert Mitchum did. You remember that? The big murder thing in the water? Well, that's all I can tell you. Now, the boys here were asking me about the food thing. Now, there's a big show coming May 17, a Sunday, June 17, the Sunday, and 18 and 19, through Tuesday, at the Washington Convention Center. It's the Fancy Food Show. Now, they always do that in New York City. And it's a mammoth show in New York, but they can't use the building they're in or whatever it is. So last year they did it here, and they're doing it this year, and that'll be the end of it. And all kinds of people. I mean, people with peanut butter, people with olives, people with potato chips and other things will come and show their stuff. And, you know, I always go to that kind of thing, and you see if I get some freebies. You know, I carry with me a big bag here so I can fill it up with stuff. Anyway, it's called the Fancy Food Show, June 17 through the 19th at the Washington Convention Center. Now, there's a number if you want to call. It's 646. I don't even know where that is in DC. I think it's New York. 646-878-0130. And you can, who's the person there? Hold on. The name is Louise Kramer. She's the girl, Louise Kramer. And you can look up this thing under www.specialtyfood.com. And I tell you, just because I don't know how they know me. Well, you know, I am famous. I mean, yeah, but anyway, I'm trying to be humble.
Yeah,
but wait a minute.
You're such a humble guy.
I've had a dozen different places, like potato chip people, like I was saying, popcorn people, who are going to be at this thing.
Oh, the fancy food.
And they tell me we've got a booth number 5518, booth number 482,
right.
And come see us, come this, come that, you know. So
it's not just fancy, it's edible too, huh?
Yeah.
There you go, you can eat the stuff.
That's right. So boys, hit that
Bring
place.
some back. Go down there with your bag.
I tell you, I'm bringing 2 bags. Because I know how you boys eat.
Take a big bag and bring some back for us. All right, appreciate
so that's
it.
Until next week, Rich Masavny.
All right.
Thank you, Rich.
Thanks, Rich. Okay, as promised, now here we go with our News for Seniors file in this edition of the Arlington Weekly News. A representative from a hearing aid center will present an educational program on hearing health at Langston-Brown Senior Center. This is coming up Thursday, June 12 at 2 in the afternoon. Seniors can also get screened to find their baseline hearing. That's important. For more information and to register for this FREE free program, 703-228-6300. And we're thanking Judy Masavny already?
Thank you so much, yes.
Okay. One News for Seniors item tonight. Guess we ran long. Well, that's a wrap for this section of the Arlington Weekly News. Coming up next is our interviewer, Miriam Gennari, and her guest. Here's Miriam.
Thanks, Craig. Thanks, Daniel. And now I have the pleasure to sit with Katie Mitchell, junior at HB Woodlawn student, and a student that has brought pride and joy to a lot of us, specifically on an event that took place earlier in May, the International Science Festival. Katie, tell us what happened.
Oh, well, my friend Andrew Green and I worked on a project together in the environmental science category, dealing with current methods of oil spill cleanup and trying to determine whether they were safe to use on brine shrimp or not. And we did find that some of the chemicals were toxic, and at the International Science Fair, we received 4th place in our category.
Well, congratulations on that,
Thank you.
Katie. I'm excited, but this story doesn't begin early May. This goes back 2 years ago, actually in 2010, right?
Right. That was when the Deepwater Horizon spill first occurred in the Gulf, and that was really the motivation that got both Andrew and I interested in beginning our research. Both of us are very passionate about the environment, and in reading in some of the articles after the spill, we found that most of the chemicals that were being used to clean up the spill, no one really knew if they were toxic or not, or what effects they could have on the wildlife. So we decided to pursue a science fair project studying 2 different types of chemicals, bioremediation agents and dispersants.
And Katie, you had some really remarkable findings, and I think a lot of people were shaken by that, but also quite impressed. Tell us what you found out.
Well, we were able to prove that overall bioremediation agents were less toxic than the dispersants, but we did find that at least 3 of the agents that we tested, when we exposed them to brine shrimp, which are really, really tiny shrimp, basically, they killed everything that we exposed them to.
So this research that you did is also research that the U.S. government has been working on as well. Were they surprised by your results?
We actually found results that were similar to some of what the EPA found. After we finished our research, we contacted a couple scientists that work for the EPA, specifically testing that occurred after the Deepwater Horizon spill, and we found that in most case scenarios, our results were within the same range that the EPA had found.
Right, but not fully disclosed, as you and Andrea
Yes.
disclosed your results. Now, you've taken this science fair project to several different places. Where do you go next?
Our next competition is actually next weekend. We're going to the Stockholm Junior Water Prize, which is a competition in Boston, and the top projects related to aquatic sciences in the nation will be competing there.
Now, at this previous science fair in early May, you received a special award. Can you tell us about the special award?
We received an award from the Consortium for Ocean Leadership, which is an organization dedicated to spreading awareness about ocean literacy, particularly focused on ocean education for teachers so that they can properly educate their students on how best to conserve the ocean and different types of conservation efforts that they can pursue.
Now, my daughter went to H.B. Woodlawn. I'm quite proud of her experience there. Your experience, very similar. It seems to inspire people to do great things. But in terms of the environment, H.B. Woodlawn had the first green prom. There's a huge number of students who are working on energy. And now you and Andrea with your in-depth research. What is it about H.B. Woodlawn that inspires students to do such great things?
Well, for one thing, the faculty are just amazing and supportive. Our principal came in every weekend for about 4 months, letting us into the building to do our research. We had custodial staff helping us clean up. All of our science teachers were always there if we had any questions, and everyone really pushes you to kind of work to the fullest of your ability and allows you to do independent projects on things that you're interested in that may not be part of a typical curriculum.
And now, how do you think that you inspire children to consider projects that may not always be the most lucrative in their future, but also, I mean, really more important, I guess?
Oh, well, actually, Andrew and I started a science fair club at HB. So this past year was the first year that we were able to get everything together, and we've been mentoring several middle schoolers who are starting research, and we've started a tradition for the past 2 years. We present to all the science classes at HB for the middle school at the end of the year, just talking about our project and different types of projects that they can pursue. And this year we're actually able to get a lot of kids doing their own research on some topics that they may not have been interested in or thought that they would be able to research before.
So now, I hate to use a pun, but the world is your oyster. So what do you want to do in the future in addition to continuing your research?
I'm definitely far in the future hoping to pursue a career probably in marine science. I've always been interested in researching the ocean, but definitely I want to pursue a science research-oriented career.
Well, I have no doubt that not only the opportunities will be there, but scholarships as well. Citizens of Arlington, you need to look out for Andrea Mitchell and I'm sorry, Katie Mitchell and Andrea Green. And I want to just send you to styrofoammom.com, and you can get further information on the girls' project. You can go to a link and look at their abstract, and you can also see pictures of them as they competed in the International Science Fair, where they took 4th place. Andrea, Katie, I'm sorry Andrea couldn't be here, and I keep saying her name. Sorry, Katie. But I just want to thank you so much for the work that you've done, and also the fact that you're working so hard to mentor other students here. I hope that more students will consider pursuing the sciences as you have. Now, that is it for us this week on the Sustainable Scoop. It's back to you in the studio, Daniel and Craig. Thanks.
All right, thanks Miriam and Katie Mitchell, Science Fair winner from HB Woodlawn. Good job, keep it up. You'll be at NASA before you know it. Okay, that's about a wrap for this edition of the Arlington Weekly News. Anything else to add before we go, gentlemen?
Yes, youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News and the number 1, and our Facebook page.
And we're on Facebook as well. Okay, and you, sir, down on the end there.
I'm just listening to you guys, soaking it in.
Rapt attention. Okay. That's it. We got to go. Thanks for watching this edition of the Arlington Weekly News. Have a safe week.
Bye.
Next week, you be there, we'll be here. Take care. See you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.